A paralyzed young woman discovered something shocking. After 18 years of taking her medication, there was another label hidden beneath the one on the bottle. She didn't let on that she'd noticed. Instead, she kept accepting the pills from her mother as usual, but the moment her mother left the room, she'd quietly spit them out. She desperately needed to know what these pills really were. Her name was Kaylee, and she'd been sick since birth. Diabetes, asthma, paralysis in her lower body, the whole 9 yards. She'd been taking these medications for 18 years straight. Her mother always brought them to her personally, and Kaylee had never questioned it. After all, what mother would ever hurt her own child? That is, until one day when her mother came home from shopping. Kaylee reached into the grocery bag for some chocolate, and that's when she spotted pill bottles mixed in with the groceries. What struck her as odd was that these were the same capsules she'd been taking, but the label had her mother's name on it, not hers. Suddenly she heard her mother's footsteps approaching, so she quickly left before getting caught. That evening, her mother came to give her the medication as usual. Thinking about what she'd seen earlier, Kaylee hesitated for a moment. The name on that bottle was definitely her mother's. As her mother was about to leave, Kaylee couldn't help but ask about it. Her mother brushed it off, saying the doctor must have written the wrong name, and told her not to worry. In the end, Kaylee chose to believe her, but gradually the dosages kept increasing, which made Kaylee start having second thoughts. Despite her disability, she was incredibly smart, a total brainiac actually. One day while her mother was out, Kaylee used a mechanical arm she'd built herself to grab medication bottles stored up high. When she wheeled out of her room, she noticed the mail truck had just been by. She got so excited, she'd been waiting for her college acceptance letter. She rushed to get downstairs on the lift, but just as she was about to open the door, she ran right into her mother. Her mother told her there was nothing in the mail, and promised that if an acceptance letter came, she'd give it to Kaylee right away. Back in her room, Kaylee examined the pills she'd grabbed earlier. Sure enough, the name on them was her mother's. What was even more disturbing was that there was another label underneath the top one. From that point on, Kaylee stopped trusting her mother. Every time she took her medication, she'd secretly spit it out afterward. She had to figure out what these pills were actually for. That night, after her mother had gone to bed, Kaylee quietly took the lift down to the computer to look up what the medication was used for, but she was crushed to discover there was no internet connection at the house. What she didn't know was that her mother had seen everything. The next day, Kaylee wasn't ready to give up. She watched her mother watering the plants in the garden, then glanced at the capsules on the table. She decided to call the pharmacy to find out more, but the person who answered was an old friend of her mother's, who immediately recognized the caller ID. Kaylee panicked and hung up quickly. She looked out the window and saw her mother still watering the plants outside. Kaylee decided to try again. She randomly dialed a stranger's number, and luckily the person who answered was kind and helpful. When Kaylee described the medication, the person told her it was used to treat heart disease, and according to them, those capsules should be red, not the green ones Kaylee was holding. In that moment, Kaylee's heart sank. She couldn't understand why her mother had been giving her the wrong medication.